When you clearly don't work somewhere, but people seem to think you do. Welcome to this episode of I Don't Work Here, Lady. Our first one is from LWDK2. For reasons I don't understand, my entire life, random strangers always approach me asking for help. My friends and family tease me about it since most of them have been with me when it happens, and it happens a lot. Lost kids who can't find their parents walk right up to me. People needing directions make a beeline for me, etc. This particular story happened 20 plus years ago. I was an avid sewer and crafter and would make regular runs to a big chain fabric store for supplies. Once I asked a staff member a question about the difference between two similar products and was told, "I don't know, I don't sew," and this appeared to be the norm for people who worked there. One time while shopping there, I was looking for a particular color of embroidery floss and found that most of the floss in the box labeled for that color was actually another color. So because I'm a tiny bit compulsive and shit like that annoys me, I put my basket on the floor and returned the strays to their respective boxes. Just as I was finishing up, a woman approached me and asked me if I could help her find the right interfacing for her project. I did the obligatory, "I don't work here," but told her I'd be happy to help her if she gave me a minute to grab my floss. I picked my basket off the floor and walked over to the interfacing section with her. As I was helping her, I realized the fabric she'd picked out for the project wouldn't work well, and I told her she'd probably be happier with a heavier fabric. So I helped her pick out a more suitable fabric, interfacing, thread, and the other notions she needed. As I sent her off to get the fabric cut, another customer asked for my opinion on her project, knowing I was just another customer, and I helped her figure out what she needed. As I finished up, the manager of the store, whom I knew by sight since I did shop there often, came up to me and introduced herself, and then offered me a job of assistant manager. When I declined, she told me that if I ever needed a job, all I had to do was let her know and she'd hire me in a heartbeat. In the years since then, I've tried really hard to cultivate resting bitch face, but it doesn't seem to be working as people still single me out and ask for my help. Even with a resting bitch face, the fact that you still try to help people out says a lot about you, and the fact that you already know more than the store employees, that says a lot as well. I'm glad that you help others without making a huge fuss. This next one is by Which STRM. When my husband and I first moved in together, we were renting a house that had been a State Farm insurance office. It was an old house that had been converted to an office, then back to a house. The landlord also ran a used car lot and the office for it on the back porch. Numerous times I'd been asleep in my bed. I was working third shift at the time, and people would just walk in wanting to talk to the insurance guy or ask about a car. It was a really small town and no one locked doors, but after 2 or 3 of these people walking in, I started locking the screen door on the front porch and then the front door itself. People still came in. One guy even said, "Hey, the doors are stuck," as he was walking in. Then he saw me and asked about insurance. I was in my PJs watching a movie. It must have been a casual Friday, I guess. So he had forced the doors open. I've never been that greatly in need of insurance to break into a building for it. I finally talked to my cousin. She had dated the insurance guy's son, and I guess they finally sent out a notice to their customers of the address change. I find it humorous that even with the doors locked, some people felt like they needed insurance that badly they tried to force themselves in. I'm glad they finally sent out a memo letting people know that the home that you were staying in was no longer the insurance office. This next one is from What Am I? So this was back in August. I just moved to the city and had just started working at a bank. I didn't have the company apparel yet, but had a good amount of business clothes. Plus, I like dressing nice. I was done early that day and downtown was on the train ride home. I figured I'd stop to do some clothes shopping. I was shopping around the store in the business attire section. In my business attire, one could guess why there would be confusion. And this lady, who only spoke Spanish, asked if I spoke Spanish and if I could help her. I said yes and asked what she needed. "¿Sabes dónde están las maletas? Do you know where the suitcases are?" Perdón, señora, yo no trabajo aquí, pero creo que estén en el primer piso. Sorry, ma'am, I don't work here, but I think they're on the first floor. We both laughed, and she commented on how nice my clothes looked. It made me blush a little bit. I'm self-conscious. Then she thanked me for helping her. 20 effing seconds later, another lady comes up to me in a not so nice way, demanding I get her another coat with matching pants in that size, asking why we had suits mixed up, and specifically to get her an effing dressing room since she had no idea why we only had two open in the middle of the pandemic. I explained to her that 1, we're in a pandemic, 2, I don't know shit about suits, I just wear them, and 3, I don't fucking work here.
Of course you fucking work here. Why else would you be dressed like that?
Because I like dressing nice, and frankly, it's none of your business.
Well, I saw you helping the other lady. Stop lying.
Because she was nice. Maybe you should try it every once in a while. At this point, one of the actual workers saw what was going on and intervened. We both happened to be in the changing room, different stalls, and she started going off on the phone about how a rude employee refused to help her. When I was done trying on new suits, I went with black this time. She was talking to the manager about me and exclaimed,
"That short one!"
when I walked by. The manager was like, "Who the fuck is that dude?" I just laughed and paid for my clothes. Moral of the story? Don't be a Richard and someone might help you, even if they don't work there. The moral of this story is so true, and it isn't just related to I don't work here lady or whatever, it just goes to humanity. Treat others the way you want to be treated, and if you're nice and respectful, maybe people might be willing to help you. And our final one is by Ghostface Killers. I have a really tame story today. Picking up our Brenner order at an international chain known for pancakes. Waiting for them to bring it out. Hostess server lets me know it'll be a few minutes. They wanted to make sure the pancakes were fresh before being sent off. She walks off to go take the table's order as it's a slow Saturday evening, so not many staff on at the moment. I'm standing next to the pickup area reading some no sleep when in walks a woman and her 3 kids.
"Hi there, I'd like a table for 4, please."
"Sorry ma'am, I don't work here, just picking up an order on my way home." She looks at me, then takes in the fact that I'm wearing a gray hoodie, leggings, and have multicolored hair, but no blue apron or name tag.
"I'm so sorry, it's been a long day."
Understandable. The hostess went to go take an order. She should be back in a minute or 2 and will likely seat you. Made some small talk. One of her kids has an oversized fleece-lined hoodie I was looking at getting for my bestie for Christmas, and I wanted to know if it was warm as the ad said. Then the hostess came to seat them. Nothing too crazy, but kind of normal to me to be mistaken for working at places at this point. You know, this is wholesome compared to what we usually see. When the Karen is told that somebody doesn't work there, the Karen usually flies off the handle, starts hurling insults, the whole 9 yards. In this case, you were able to actually have a dialogue, and that's just great. Leaves me a little bit of hope for humanity. Alright. That's enough stories for the day. Well, that wraps up this episode of I Don't Work Here Lady. If you liked the video, please drop a like, share my content on all of your social media, subscribe if you haven't already, and make sure to hit that bell so you're notified every time I upload, and drop a comment down below. It really helps with the algorithm and helps new people find my channel. Thanks for watching, thanks to my patrons, have a great day and stay safe out there.